Hey guys, Bethany Drew here with Stampin' Up in Valparaiso, Indiana. And we're going to look at two bundles. So I'm going to try to get started kind of right away. We'll do less talking. As always, just say hello when you come in. I love to see when you're joining me live. And hi to those of you who are catching the replay. I know there's no perfect time for people to check in live. So if you're checking on the replay, feel free to ask questions. And I always try to look back in the next couple days and see if people have questions. So we're going to look at two fun bundles that you might think were more for guys, but they're really for everything. So we're going to look at the well-suited. Hey, Chris, glad I reminded you. I know my day gets crazy, and I tell you, the time flies just before my video comes on. And I was going to try to clean up my desk, and that didn't happen. It's pretty messy. I'm telling you, my husband always tries to call me when I have my live video. I almost called him to just see if he needed anything before I started my video, but I didn't. So hopefully he remembers that. Anyhow, so we're going to look at the well-suited stamp set that generally puts together, like there's ties and bows and you can make a little suit and stuff, but I'm going to show you some fun stuff with that. See, this all gets neglected on Wednesdays most of the time. I didn't even get a shower in, hence the hat, because I just want to show you more cool stuff. And this is also baseball season. If you can see my shirt, I can't. I have a son who plays baseball. That's pretty much my life right now. And yeah, it gets harder in the springtime. I have a son in track. I have two boys in baseball with all those schedules. And one of my elementary kid, he's in baseball, but he's doing football camp this week too. So this week is crazy. You guys know how that is. It can get crazy, but I love that I do my live videos every week because it's accountability for me to play with my stuff. So glad that you joined me. We're going to look at the well-suited bundle or suite first. So let's get started. I'll show you it in the mini catalog first, and then we'll look at some samples, and then I'll put together a couple for you. So let me turn around. Yes, Chris, I know you know crazy too with all your grandkids in who knows how much sports and everything. Well, hello, Barbara. How are you doing, Barb? Glad you've joined me too. All right. So today we're looking in the mini catalog, and this mini catalog, I want to remind you guys, is good through June 30th. Okay, so some of this stuff is retiring, like this paper is going to be retiring. It won't go into the annual catalog, but you do have through June. But I kind of wanted to show you some guy sets, but also show you alternative ways. You don't have to use this for guys. So this suite is really cool. It's the stamp set, has Happy Father's Day. It has just a happy birthday to you. It has one of the world's greatest dads. You're the best. And this paper is awesome. I love this paper. So even if you don't get the stamps or anything else, this is great for guy cards. All this, there's paisley and stripes and plaids. They're great for the ties and everything. So very cute. And again, when you like the whole suite, it'll say the suite collection. If you like everything that coordinates, and I always do, almost always, then you just put in the one number. So for only $66, you get everything that coordinates in here, which is so nice. So you get the stamp set, you get all the dies, you get the twine in there, and the designer paper. And that's so awesome. What a great deal. You know, if you make 10 cards out of it, you've almost put your money's worth into what you paid for the bundle, right? So to me, it's so worth it to get new stuff because I make plenty of cards with it. So I want to show you some of kind of the classic ways to use it first. Here's a really easy, simple card. Actually, let me show you the designer paper first because it's really cool. I really love all these designs. This looks kind of like a tweed jacket. Well, not tweed, I don't know what material that is, but And then we've got plaids. You've got pinstripe, so great for a suit, and great stripes for the ties. Plaid and more stripes. The little diamonds, perfect for ties. Ooh, this paisley, I love this. I'll show you a jacket one I did. And little polka dots, and then some flowery too, if you wanted to go kind of make a Hawaiian shirt or something. So these, the designer paper, this one is a 12 by 12 paper, so you get 2 of each design. And aren't they awesome? So here I used the designer paper just in the background. And then this one I just stamped, I simply used my tie stamps and I stamped them down in Poppy Parade and then Night of Navy. So really quick and easy. Hang on, someone's knocking on the door. All kinds of crazy is happening right now. You can watch something, bud. Oh, my Lanta. My neighbor was here to pick up my son, who was not ready for track. Speaking of spring crazy, guys, oh my goodness. Okay, so this is a very simple version of this card here where I just stamped in Poppy Parade and Night of Navy, and then I just used my circle dies, and I stamped Have a Happy Father's Day Handsome in my white craft, and then I stamped the Father's Day on white, so I stamped it again on a white piece of paper, and I just trimmed out the Father's Day on white. So a little bit, I mean, but not too hard. Okay, so pretty simple. I didn't even use the dies yet with that one. And I'll show you an upgraded version of that, but I wanted to show you some other things you can do with this. So there is a die that cuts out a tag, and this tag has some stitching on it, which is really cute. And so I just put the tags I cut out, I think 7 tags, because a couple of them you're gonna cut in half and you're trimming off to fit on the side. And then I just ran my navy through an embossing folder. And then on one of the tags, I popped this one up that says, "To one of the world's greatest dads." So great way to use your designer paper, make patterns, even if you're just using strips. But the little pocket die is a really cute thing to make some patterns with. Now look at this one. This is so cute. I love this one. This is really fun when you start getting into putting together your like a suit, because there's a die that cuts out the tie. There's a die that cuts out this collar. There's a die that also cuts out this piece too for the side of the collars of the jacket. And then look at this. I saw somebody else, so I kind of stole this idea. It's actually even in the catalog, to make little, like, looks like a handkerchief in the pocket. Just use the end of your tie. So I stamped the tie again, and I just used the little ends to make it a handkerchief that matches the tie. So cute. Oh my goodness. So sorry that I ran off on you guys. Some other things that you can do with the suit, I want to show you some alternative ways to make different things. You might as well be thinking of people. I have a brother who is a police officer. I have a cousin who's a police officer. There's a lot of people that I love who are police officers. One of my son's teacher's husbands is a police officer. And so here's just one made with it's just navy and balmy blue. So balmy blue is the suit, and then all the accents, the little tops of the pocket are navy. And those are all pieces in your dies. This wider strip is a die, and then there's a die that cuts out 6 buttons at a time. So I used my foil to cut out the star. I used my foil to cut out the little brass buttons. And then I used this die to put on the top and this little piece that kind of continues the bottom of the shirt. Isn't that so cute? Oh my goodness. So if you have a cop or a police officer or someone in your life, there's simple ways, and just look on Pinterest. Pinterest is a great source of inspiration for me too, because I have also seen some soldier, so stamped in the camo, some soldier uniforms, firemen, and let me show you one more too. I did one more. So this is like a nurse's smock. So for Rachel, for Sabrina, for Stephanie, for those of you who I love who are nurses, thank you for your, especially in this last year, working in the front lines. So what I did with this one, there's a little V that a V die that cuts out the top of the shirt in a sense. So I did just cut that simple V. I cut out 2 pockets. I also cut out that thin little, so this piece here that cuts out the top of what fits on the pocket, I cut that out, and then I just used my little paper snips to round the corner so it looks like a Band-Aid in there. So I put a little Band-Aid, and then I stamped and cut out a thank you here, and I put it on the back of a piece, because you could actually write a little note and say, you're awesome, thank you for your, I mean, this still opens up like a normal card, but it'd be fun to have a little message in the back of your little thank you note in the nurse's pocket. And this is kind of to look like a stethoscope, if you got what that looked like. How I made that little rounded black piece was I used 2 of my stitch circles, and I just cut it out together. So I put both of these circles together right over my black paper, and then out comes a little curved piece of black that I was able to I just tucked it in here, and I just trimmed it off the top for however long I wanted that to be. So those are some alternative ways, and like I said, there's tons of different examples. You could make a little fisherman's, so you could make extra pockets and make a little fisherman's jacket. There's all kinds of things you could do with this suit, which is so cute, so cute. Okay, another alternative that I saw someone, and I thought it was brilliant because I am a baseball mom, as you guys know, and Jacob plays for he's on the JV team for Valpo High School, and all of the Valpo schools are green and white, or their colors. So if you had somebody who was going to college to play ball, you could find out there's the school colors or the college colors they'll go to, and make this kind of simple card. Now I did use a baseball from For the Win. It's a retired stamp set, but I'm never going to sell that because I've got kids still starting kindergarten in the fall, so I'm going to have kids in sports for a long time. But this baseball bat is the tie die. So there's the top knot of the tie. And I just used my paper snips and I rounded the end of the tie. And then it's a baseball bat. Isn't that so cute? Oh my goodness, so simple. But another fun way to use that die. If you have any baseball fans in your life, you can use that tie for a baseball bat. Here's a way to really girl up these dies with the pocket dies. So I use some of our different designer paper that matches with our a different flower set. It's a really pretty paper. And then I actually even still used the stamp that says to one of the world's greatest dads. However, I used markers, and I just markered with my Rococo Rose and the Blackberry Bliss. So I used my markers. And when you use your markers, you can omit stuff. So I just didn't put in the dad, and then you could put in one of the world's greatest. And on the inside, you could put sisters or for Happy Mother's Day. So you could change it up and make this for someone, a friend, world's greatest friend. So that's kind of a fun way you can mix that up as well, and girl it up. So again, these dies don't have to be used for just guys. They can be used in a lot of different ways. And let me see. So back to this card, I'll show you something very similar, but we're just going to mix it up a little bit. And I'll show you how to step it up a bit. So this one I had Poppy Parade in the back. I'm just going to make a white card base for this card. And similar to what we did on this other card, I'm just going to use designer paper. I'm going to use the flowery, I'm going to use the flowery side. I love this paper. It's really cool. So I'm just putting a little bit of my Seal Plus on the back. And I try to make sure corners, the top, all kind of line up and are straight before I commit to putting it down. Okay, now this is where we're going to step it up a bit. This piece I just kept plain white and I stamped the ties right on them. Now this one, I've got a white piece that I'm going to center in here. I'm going to trim it down just a little bit here. That's a little better. Okay, now I'm going to run this through an embossing folder. I think I'm just going to use the subtle one. So it will be subtle. It just gives it a little bit of texture. A little bit more Seal Plus on this. And then what I've already done for you guys, so you don't have to wait for me to stamp and cut, is I stamped the tie images right on the designer paper. And now, instead of having them lay flat and they're just stamped on the white, this is the joy of having the dies, right? Because now we can stamp them on other things. So this is 3 different patterns of the designer paper, and then I can pop them up. So I'm going to put a dimensional on the top, not part of it, and then on the bottom. And let me get back. There also is a die that is just this little shape here, and it is the knot of the tie, of this part of the tie. There's also a little oval die that will fit as like the knot for the bow ties. And I just realized I had so much fun with all the long ties, I didn't really do anything with the bows. Ooh, I hear thunder. Yes, my high schoolers game got canceled or postponed or something. They were going to have a game in Crown Point, but I think thunderstorms are happening today, and that's not going to happen. So later today, my son who has football camp, that will be inside. I have a son who just got picked up for track. That will be inside today. Oh, you heard the thunder? I love thunder. Thunderstorms are awesome. Okay, isn't that cool? I love this designer paper. How fun is that? And that doesn't take a whole lot more time to just stamp it on the designer paper and then run it through your die cutting machine than it does even to just stamp it directly. A little bit more time, but it's so worth it. Now, let's say there is the happy birthday one somewhere here. Where did that go? Happy birthday to you. Again, to step it up a little bit, I used the white craft and this, but you know what? I am a lazy stamper. So I'll probably do that again. Now I'm just gonna get a piece of my navy paper and cut out the pocket. I think the happy birthday will fit on that. Let's see if that pocket is wide enough for the birthday. Happy birthday to you. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I did kind of on this one. I'm going to do the same thing because I'm going to stamp happy birthday to you in my white craft. Which the white craft is kind of like paint, so it takes a little longer to dry, so you want to be careful with that. Now I'm going to restamp. Oh, that went a little crooked, but that's okay. I'm going to restamp the happy birthday to you, just like I did with my other card. And guys, if you don't have the chamois, it's a beautiful thing. It's only $8 and it's awesome to clean your stamps with. Love it. Okay, so take out some white scrap paper here and what color do I want to do the birthday in? I think I'll still stick with just navy. I knew I had my navy close. All right, so I'm stamping this in navy now. Close that. And I'm just gonna cut out the birthday, so it doesn't matter if a happy even gets on there. But let's clean that off so I don't forget it. Okay, now I'm going to come in with my paper snips. This is where I love seeing alternatives with stuff, because sometimes, you know, most of the examples in the catalog are just guy, and you think, well, I don't make a whole lot of guy cards. Maybe some of you do, but maybe some of you make a ton of guy cards and you're looking for more guy examples. Then this is perfect for you. But even if you don't make a ton of guy cards, this really could be a great stamp set. I'm gonna make a little bit of a banner edge there. I'm gonna do that on both sides. So I'm sticking this into my tailored punch. You hear the thunder again? Woo. The thunder roars and the lightning strikes. All right, so happy birthday. Now that birthday that I stamped on white and I just trimmed off, I'm gonna put a dimensional on the back of that, and we'll just stick that over the birthday on here. And then we can pop that up and voila. How fun is that? I'm trying to kind of be careful not to touch. I don't want to smear. I did a little bit. I smeared it just a little bit. There. Happy birthday to you. So a fun little quick guy card. So that's same kind of idea, just stepped up a little bit with the dies of the ties. And this designer paper, again, I love it. Love it. I wanted to show you one more card showing you how to have fun with the scraps, because as you're trimming and you're cutting those ties or whatever, you might have little pieces of paper that get trimmed off. Don't throw those scrap. I mean, some scrap you can throw away, if we want to be honest. But don't throw it all away, because you can use that. All right, so I'm going to use this side of the designer paper. I love this, that bright red. I'm just putting a little bit of Seal Plus in the corners here. And isn't this all of this paper is just so perfect for the suits and for ties. They just remind me of tie patterns, don't they? Very cool. Love it. Okay, so once I've got that down on there, I'm also going to put this up. You know, I'm going to trim this just a little bit more. To like 3 1/4 by 4 3/4, just a little bit. Let's see, what folder should I use for this one? I forget if this is current or not, but I'm using a basket weave. I keep most of my embossing folders. So when I have my catalog launch party soon, actually this coming week, oh my goodness, I need to talk more about that too. You probably won't see a whole lot of embossing folders. So if there are embossing folders that are retiring, grab those up, because I don't sell a whole lot of my embossing folders because I love them. You just never know when you want a nice basket weave. Look at how cool that is. I love our embossing folders. Okay, so because I've embossed that, I'm going to pop it up with dimensionals. They're my favorite. I think, Barb, you were the one who said, do you go through a lot of dimensionals? And I said, yes, I do. I almost always order dimensionals, almost every order. I'm trying hard to have self-control, as maybe some of you, hey Rachel! I'm really trying hard to have self-control to wait until May 4th when the new annual catalog comes out to do my next demo order, because I've already done 2 demo orders this month already. I just want to wait till I can get it all, but there's more stuff I want. Okay, so I'm putting that piece down here. Now, this is the fun part. I just want to look at what patterns I have here. These are just scraps of all this designer paper. Great designs. I love them. So I kind of want one of each pattern, like the paisley too. I might not need to use all of these. You know, in fact, I think I'll take that one off because it almost blends in with the white. All right, now I'm going to make them a little bit shorter, so I'm just going to trim these pieces so they fit inside the white. So again, this is just a fun way. If you've got scraps, make a scrappy card, because you could make a really pretty one with our pretty like flowery paper. The peony paper is so pretty. That'll be going. I don't think that's coming into the new catalog. We'll trim this one pretty short. So I'm making them all different lengths. It doesn't even matter how tall they are, except I do want them to fit inside. So I'm going to trim this one a little bit more inside the white. Make that one a little bit shorter. You know what? I think I'm going to trim it just a little bit thinner too. Okay, so scraps. Now the scraps of scraps, you guys can throw those away. Some of you may be the keepers of all scraps. That's okay. But every once in a while you gotta throw them away too. All right, well, I trimmed them and they all look almost identical here. Just keep trimming, just keep trimming, la ha ha ha, as Dory would sing. All right, I think that looks good. All right, now I can just, and no rhyme or reason. No rhyme or reason. They don't have to be straight up and down. They can be a little bit crooked. I'm just gonna put a little bit of Seal Plus on each strip. So again, this is a fun way to use these guy patterns to make a guy card. But you could definitely use this same idea with our flower paper, with anything. I'm gonna trim this last one just a little bit. I do want it to fit inside the white. So some is overlapping, some isn't. And then we can just stamp a sentiment in the middle here. And I think I'm gonna bring out my, let's see, should I do, this twine, it comes in the sweet, I think I don't know, should I do gray? I might do gray. Can't have enough baker's twine in different colors. So we'll find a place to just put a little bow of gray twine, still manly. I'll trim that down there. And let's see what sentiment will fit. I don't think the Happy Father's Day, that's a little bit too big. Well, we might as well use the happy birthday again. You know, guys' birthdays come every year too. And I'll take out the Knight of Navy here. Hey, Teresa. All right, I'm just gonna stamp happy birthday to you in the Knight of Navy. Pop that up. On a couple dimensionals again. And then we'll put the little baker's twine on a glue dot. Glue dots are amazing too. I don't want that sticking to the table. No, thank you. So we'll just put this right in, kind of in the center. Happy birthday to you. Pop up our little twine bow. I'm gonna put a glue dot on the back of the knot there. Now these glue dots come in our like kits and paper pumpkin. Let's see. We'll just put it off to the side. So it's not like a feature of it, but it still adds something that's not cardstock to it. Right? Isn't that cute? Don't you love these patterns? I don't know, I'm really digging these patterns of designer paper. So fun. Okay, so just a refresher. With this designer paper alone, I mean, you can make some awesome things, but with the dies, you can do ties. It's a great background. With the dies, you can say thank you to all of our service people. So not only policemen, there's so many different examples of military, firefighters, like I said before. Girl it up with the pockets. You can make a baseball bat out of the tie. How awesome is that? You can do patterns with the pockets. So cool. You can make awesome suit cards for the fancy people in your life. Here's one saying thank you for nurse. Oh, you're fine, Teresa. I know you'll catch the replay if you have to miss stuff. You're fine. Life happens. I had to run off and tell my son to get his shoes on for track. He wasn't ready. Too many things going on at once. It can be crazy. Okay, so that was the well-suited die. Awesome. Where did I put that? On the very next page, I believe, in the annual catalog. And this is one that I can't tell you, but I don't see it in the annual catalog. So I don't think I think this is going to retire. But again, it's good through June. And Mendy, some of my high school girls too help at the barns. I have a few friends who I know love horses. My friend Candy. I have a few of you who I know love horses. So this could be girl and guy cards. And whether you've even just ridden before, this is a fun set with some cool dies, again, that match, cut out the horseshoe, cut out the rider, the cows, the hay. So you can add some fun elements in there. And then it has, thanks, that's mighty kind of you. I just have to say it in a Southern accent because, I don't know, it just comes out. Life is a journey, enjoy the ride. Happy birthday, blaze your own trail, take time for the simple things. So I like some of the sayings in here too. So I've got less show and tell with this one just because I was running out of time, which is why I didn't get a shower in because I was working for you guys. But here's a couple to show and tell first. So I know there's several of you who already have the Mountain Air bundle. So those mountains are a fun little, if you want to just do a landscape. So this was a simple card. I matted it on some of the wood grain paper from that Tasteful Touches suite. Then I just stamped the mountains a couple times in soft suede. And then I stamped the trees, which are kind of subtle, but that's okay, from that Mountain Air. And then I actually did a little bit of sponging. There is a die. Let's see. Oh, wait. So here's the stamp set. It's got a fence, it's got the windmill, and it does have a little die that has kind of a hill. So I cut out a hill for just a little bit of a, and I made my own little mask, and then I sponged over it. I was trying to see if I could find where I put that piece of paper to show you. Here it is. So I just cut it and then used it as a mask, and I used it upside down. So I sponged to make a couple hills, green hills, green grass there, but pretty much just a one layer. Then I stamped Life is a Journey, enjoy the ride on there, and put it on Calypso Coral. Now with the brown designer paper there, because I matted the whole thing, I actually stamped and cut out the horseshoes out of that same paper that I matted it. So I cut out these horseshoes and and this one I did get inspiration from Erica Serwin. So she was one of our former, on the artisan design team. But this is a great way to use this as like a wedding card. So it has the stamp, good luck, the horseshoes, and this is a stamp set that is retiring, the Bloom and Grow stamp set, and it matches with dies that cut out all those flowers. This is a pretty set. I made a lot of cards with this set. They're a fun flower to color. So I colored these in with my blends, and I used Calypso Coral, my Highland Heather, some Balmy Blue, and some yellow to add a lot of little flowers in there. But pretty simple, fast card. And it would be a sweet wedding card for horse lovers. So that's kind of a girled up card there. Now this one I have close to done. Just last week, I think I showed you guys using the blending brushes. I showed you blending over our sparkly shimmer paper. So I already did with the orange, Daffodil Delight, and then I actually used Gorgeous Grape. I used my blending brushes. Hi. Sorry you tried calling me right after I started. Sorry, all kinds of distractions today. My husband just got home. And then my 4th grader has to get ready for football camp. Okay, so I already embossed. This is Gorgeous Grape. I embossed it, and I can't believe that I am not going to sell this embossing folder. They're retiring this wood plank embossing folder, and it's awesome. I use it all the time. So that is another embossing folder I will not sell, but it's going. Now I used a couple glue dots to put down this windmill, but I'm going to show you with my other card how to do something different. And I wanted to show you too, because I made this look like a sunset, and I already cut this out in black. I'm going to show you, I think, here it is, how to make us. So I've already stamped. Can you see? I want to make sure I'm in the camera view there. I stamped the horse and the rider in black, but I'm going to actually color it in with my black marker. So if you have a black Stampin' Write marker, you can make any image look like a silhouette simply by just coloring it in after you've stamped it. Okay, so I'm coloring this in. With the wide tip first, so I can get most of the horse with the wide tip of my. Then when it gets a little bit thinner, I might want to go to the writing part of. There, so now I'm going to come in and I'm using the writing tip, and I can add a little bit more of that detail too. Even though it doesn't want to come out as thick as my writing or as my thick tip. When you do that, then it really just makes it look like a silhouette. I'm going to have to go back in with my Oh yeah, Teresa, you have lots of scraps. Great way to make that scrappy card. Use those scraps. Don't let them just lie around. Let's see if I can get into his head there more in the hat. Now I'm just being really careful. So careful that I'm forgetting to talk. Oh goodness. I'm telling you, me and my neighbor, Sarah, have been on the phone every day trying to figure out, between picking up for track, football camp, Jacob's got baseball games and stuff. I'm thankful he at least can drive himself. It's an amazing gift to have a driver in the house. Love it. All right. All right, you see how that works? Color that in with the black, and then all of a sudden it looks like a silhouette. So that's the magic of that. And I think I might we'll just add, now this might be something you would want to use your adhesive sheets with. I'm going to show you in my other card. I used the windmill on its adhesive sheets. Because otherwise I'm just I'm trying to find the biggest spots on that barbed wire fence there to add a little glue dot to. The fun thing about the glue dots is they are bendable, and you can, here I'll push it in so it's not sticking on or it's not going to stick out, I should say. All right, so we're going to put that barbed wire fence down below by the horse and the rider there. And see where it's centered. I'm not going to trim that. I'm just going to trim off. I'm okay if it matches with the purple part, that barbed wire. What am I losing there? And then we'll put the hill, the black hill on here too. We'll pop that up with dimensionals. And then here, this is one you could make for any occasion, but for a girl who likes, I mean, you could do this, send this to a guy too. It's not like guys hate purple, right? And I'm gonna trim this, the black hill, right to the side of the... Did they send you home, Jake? Trim the hill to the sides of my paper there. I left a little tiny border of the orange down there. Kind of fun. And then I'll just pop up the rest of this. Now, I don't know, like, you could put a saying on the front. I'm not sure exactly how I want to use this card yet, so I'm not going to put a saying on it all yet, because I just don't know how I want to use this yet. Because really, I mean, going into the sunset, this could be a happy graduation for somebody who's a horse lover. It could be happy birthday. It could be a lot of different things. Isn't that pretty? Fun. Okay, one more card, and then we'll be done. And I'm gonna check on, I've got fish in the crock pot. First time I've made fish this way. I found a new recipe. All right. There even is a little cloud die with this set, which is kind of fun. I thought I might use it on this card. We'll see. Now I was gonna try to use I do have a die, but I can't find it right now. The border dies that has a new cloud, like a cloud shaped die that goes on the border. But you can also just make your own. Okay, so if you're strapped for time and you just want to make your own kind of die to make clouds, you can use, let's see, that's my green. I thought I had one for blues. I'm gonna take my purples, but I am gonna put a little blue on it. Because I'm using my purple brush, it might still get a little bit of purple tint on it. But I'm using balmy blue here. And I'm gonna just use the blending brush to kind of go over. And I'm gonna go this way. This will kind of make cloudy looking. Isn't that fun? So you can make your own. I just cut little humps in that paper and there we were. There's a little cloud layer. Okay, so that's kind of a fun way to add a little bit of color if I'm just using white in the black or in the background. Now there's a big die that cuts out this shape here. So I cut it out of the wood grain, and then I did just trim, instead of leaving it, I didn't want the corners to show. I just trimmed around so it looks like a big wood frame in that shape. So it almost goes to the sides of the card, but I'm going to trim these down just a little bit, my little hills. So what I did here, I cut a piece like this with the hill, but I'm using with that hill die. I'm using both pieces, and I'm going to pop up one of them, and I'm going to use a sponge and my, let's see, this is shaded spruce. So let me get my shaded spruce ink. I'm telling you, the sponges and the blending brushes, oh, what fun they are. Okay, so I'm taking shaded spruce and I'm just sponging the top of the hill because this will give it a little bit more dimension. Now, I also want to check to see where I want that grassy hill to be here. Okay, I'll put it a little bit lower than that. And I'm going to pop up the hills with dimensions. I mean, doesn't this make you happy? Just watching a scene unfold before your eyes. It's really fun. That's why this is so therapeutic for me. I just love this. I probably put that a little bit lower than I wanted, but that's all right. Well, want to make sure this one still can be seen. Put another dimensional on the other side there. I'm putting a mini dimensional on the other side. I'm going to close this one. All right. Okay, so I'm put that on dimensionals too, and putting it dimensionals on top of the hill and the little bit of sponging really kind of brings out that hill then. Now that I've got the grass in there, I think I can put this on and I can kind of just tuck things in. So we'll use mini dimensionals. I don't want to put any dimensionals too close to the sides. So I'll put more on the top here because I might want to be tucking things in the side here, like my little rider and all that. So mini dimensionals to the rescue. So if you didn't know that, there are regular and mini dimensionals, and I love both. The mini really let you get into smaller things. Okay, there's a tiny bit of a border of the white at the bottom there. And then that frame will go around the top there. There we go. Now here's where I did already put this on. So last week I showed you guys the adhesive sheets. And they really are awesome because when you have intricate dies like this, either you got to find places where you can put glue dots on or you use your fine tip glue pen. But if you have used it on an adhesive sheet, ta-da, you peel the backing off and the whole thing is a sticker, and that is amazing. I'm going to put that back here. So that's sticking to the frame, and the whole thing is a sticker. It's amazing. I love it. The cows, I think I'm going to stick down here. Now, if you don't like seeing a border of white around the cows, because here they're sitting in the grass, I'm going to let that guy, so his head isn't covered. But I'm tucking that cow underneath. Just get, I use shaded spruce on purpose because I have my blends markers. So if you use the same color, get that out, and then everywhere, so I'm gonna make a little line there, everywhere that the cows are on the green, just where there's grass, I'm gonna color it in the green. So it's a little bit time consuming, but it's kind of fun when you make it match the color. Now this is my light shaded spruce, so it'll get darker when I go back in with my. So isn't that fun? You can kind of make it match with whatever color you have in the background there. So because I had shaded spruce blends markers, I used my shaded spruce paper so that when I color it in, it will match. This is another reason why I love Stampin' Up, because everything coordinates and matches so well. Now watch when I go in with the dark. Voila, that's gonna be match almost perfectly with the paper. I'm gonna go a little bit more closer to the hill, closer to the paper. Then I'll go back in. This is why they're called blends, because it looks a little bit more like a stark difference when you color over with the dark. But then when I blend it back in with the lighter one, it doesn't look like an elementary school grader colored it, because I'm blending it back in. They're fun. So isn't that fun? You can match that color with your blends markers. And then, I think I've got a black, but of course I can't find it. I'll just go over their spots with a gray here. And so this is a little bit more, yeah, detailed. I'm using blends markers, I'm using the dies, but oh my goodness, hopefully you're having fun watching. It's like, again, sometimes I feel like I'm Bob the guy with the fro, the painter. I think we'll put the horse rider here. I was trying to think of a way that you could get, maybe add a ponytail to the horse rider and make him turn into a girl. I don't know. You could probably do it, but it would be it'd be more work than I want to do. All right, so this is the bronze color. I'm going to color the horse bronze. Ooh, more thunder. More thunder. Again, the blends are fun to color with. Get his ears. Boop, boop. Because my black is a little bit lighter, I will just color in with the writing end. And then I can use different colors if I wanted. give the cowboy a pink shirt even. Green hat. And blue jeans. Isn't that fun? And I'm not sure what I would want to use this for either yet. And where I would put my sentiment. But let's add, I know I added just a little bit of the color. I'm going to put some of the mini glue dots on these little clouds. The minis just barely fit in the little. Isn't that cute? Don't want my hair. Fun. I'll put that little cloud, kind of put it over the border there. Awesome. And what cow and horse loving person wouldn't like a card like that? So fun. So I knew I wanted Ride the Range, especially when I saw the windmill. I just think that's a cool feature, a cool die. And again, I do like sentiments and stamp sets that lend themselves to being a guy or a girl. And this totally could be guy or girl. Life is a journey. Enjoy the ride. I don't know if I would add that on the front or not. Here's a silhouette one, using the blending brushes to make a sunset, and then just kind of have black features there. There's a girly version, wedding card with the horseshoes. Good luck. And here's more make a landscape. So if you have pine trees, if you have the mountains, you can put some different landscape behind the rider and the cows there too. So lots of different fun ways you can make using that bundle. And again, the mini catalog is good through June 30th. And that one I think is going to be retiring after June. So, however, the bows and ties dies, they will be available still in the new catalog. So if you can't get them yet, it's okay. But it would be one that I would highly recommend. So many cute things you can do with these dies. And again, with the scraps, you can do pretty much anything. So thanks guys for joining me today. And we looked at 2 bundles. I tried to keep things quick, but it's very hard for me because I want to show you everything. Now next week, starting on Monday, I am having a catalog launch party. Okay, so I will be honest, I haven't even designed the card that you're all going to make, but everyone will get to make a card for free. This weekend, I'm going to be working hard on taking out my retired stuff that I am willing to sell. There is plenty of stuff I'm willing to sell. And if you come and make it to my house, I will spoil you because 1, I'm doing BOGO sales. So if you order $25 worth or $50 worth of something from the new catalog, then you will actually get to just earn some of my retired stuff at their full price. So I'm not giving you the sale price, but at your full price value for free with your order. So BOGO sales, you'll get retired stuff for free with orders from the new catalog from me. You'll get to make a free card. If you haven't gotten already, you'll get a free catalog from me. I also have a friend making specialty cookies. So that'll be a fun little addition to my catalog launch party. So come look at the new colors. I really will spoil you. If you do order $50 worth or more, you will also get another free gift from me. So it's going to feel like celebration too. So I'm really trying to spoil you hard. I did want to do this before school ends and summer break happens. So that I am going to be open, and I will post the times in my on this Facebook page. And I'll send out an email too for people who don't check me on Facebook, but I'll be open different times on Monday, Tuesday, not on Wednesday because I do my live video and it's a crazy day. And also on Thursday, maybe Friday. I need to look at everything going on my week, but I'll be open for at least 3 different days. And I would love Thursday is the day I will be open in the evening for my friends. I know there's plenty of you who work, so I wanted to be open at least one evening for people to come by and check out the open house and BOGO sales. And again, it's going to be exciting. So that is next week starting on Monday, because Monday is the day before the catalog finally goes live and I can order more stuff, guys. I'm so excited because there's so many more things. I can't wait to show you. So next week, I will be showing you something and I can actually kind of show you a little bit more in the catalog too, new stuff. So excited. Tune in till next week. I'm always happy to show you some new things. Hopefully you were inspired to use your scraps and do different things with dies if you already have these dies. That's my goal, is just to encourage you guys to make cards and use what you have. And if you order along the way, that's awesome too. That helps me out and that helps me to be able to stay home with my kids. And I am so thankful for a job like this, that it's my hobby and it's something I love and it blesses others. And so thank you very much for all of you who come. Thank you for commenting, for liking my projects when I post them. You guys are awesome. Love you very much. Have a great day, guys. Thanks, Teresa, Rachel, Chris, all of you who stopped by online. I appreciate you. Have a great day. Bye.